all its potential wonder. Outlast, outlive Toyota trucks.
It's possible again on Tuesday with a high of 48.
The live Doppler 7 radar is clear right now. Chilly this morning, 27 in Springfield, 28 in Xenia, 27 degrees at Dayton Severe Weather Station.
This is a WHIO Red Alert traffic update.
And we get the latest from traffic expert Jake Magnotta.
Busy start to our Friday morning drive as we currently have 70 West shut down at State Route 49 in Clayton due to a reported rollover crash. They are rerouting traffic onto State Route 49 right now. So the backup is nothing crazy right now since we're not seeing a lot of traffic in the area. But overall, want to avoid this area. I would exit 70 West at either Hoke Road or at State Route 48 in Englewood. Use Route 40, and the first entrance that gets you onto 70 West again is off of Arlington Road. I'm Jake Magnotta.
PR Newswire says Dolph Lundgren has launched his own 90-proof potato vodka called Hard Cut Vodka. It's distilled in Idaho and made with Rocky Mountain water. The award-winning vodka has hints of green apple and butterscotch, offering a smooth finish. And following recent attacks on Tesla, the FBI is now investigating. We've got that story coming up in 3 minutes. WHI News Time 513.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Expert brake repair you can trust. Make sure you can stop when you need to the most. Get a little peace of mind by making an appointment today with your trusted brake repair experts at GrismerTire.com.
This is the Miami Valley's home for Fox News. WHIO. From the
When you think of the most exciting team in Dayton, it's okay if you don't think of the doctors and therapists at Premier Health. We don't have jerseys or trading cards. We don't get primetime coverage. We don't sell out arenas, have good drip, or autograph sessions. We're just happy to be your team's favorite team.
Hey, it's Todd from the Evening Edge on WHIO Radio. I know it's many months away, but this summer, WHIO Radio is celebrating Independence Day with the city of Beaver Creek. It'll be a terrific patriotic day with a parade, family fun festivities, and a spectacular fireworks display. This event is part of the WHIO Radio 90th Anniversary Hometown Celebration, and the city of Beaver Creek is looking for additional sponsors to partner with. Thousands of residents will be there celebrating Independence Day, and if you're a local business and would like to be part of this patriotic event, please visit beavercreekohio.gov/sponsorships for details, or call the City of Beaver Creek Parks, Recreation, and Culture Division at 937-427-5514. That's 937-427-5514. And celebrate Independence Day with WHIO Radio and the City of Beaver Creek.
What is the WHIO Storm Center? It means when you hear these tones, you are just a few minutes away from emergency weather information. Weather is our number one priority. The Storm Center 7 forecast is always on the radio. 1290 and 95.7 WHIO. And when News Center 7 is in wall-to-wall weather coverage mode, you'll always hear it simulcast on WHIO Radio. That means you can take your radio to your safe spot and hear exactly what's happening with severe weather. When it comes to weather, we don't mess around. This is a Consumer Warrior Clark Howard Minute.
Tax season. So the tax code is designed specifically to discourage rapid fire trading, because when you do a buy and sell in less than a year, you're punished by the tax code with punitive tax rates. Or you can look at it in the reverse. When you hold something more than a year, you get preferential, much lower capital gains tax. The difference between ordinary income tax and capital gains tax. If it's really important to scratch that itch, to do rapid fire trading, anything like that, have some money you devote to that. But the money that's really going to matter needs to be Dullsville. Widely diversified investing, index funds that are very low cost to develop meaningful wealth over time. If it's about the sport, then it's not about creating financial security.
Clark is WHIO's Consumer Warrior, and you can hear him during Miami Valley's Morning News on WHIO. sources of News Center 7. You're on Dayton's #1 news team. Now, back to Miami Valley's morning news on WHIO.
Good morning, and thanks for listening to Miami Valley's Morning News. It is 5:16. I'm Brittany Otto with the three big things that you need to know. Already a traffic red alert this morning. This one near Clayton, 70 West, shut down at State Route 49. A $500,000 winning Lucky for Life lottery ticket was sold at a Speedway in Kettering for last night's drawing, so you'll probably want to check your numbers. And it is our top story this morning. President Trump delivering on a campaign promise, signing an executive order to dismantle the Department of Education.
And Brittany, Fox's Jackie Heinrich brings us more on this story from the White House.
The plan calls to preserve federal funding for students with disabilities, low-income schools, and student loans and grants, shuffling oversight to other agencies. The nation's report card shows math proficiency at 39% in fourth graders, 28% for eighth grade. In reading, fourth graders 31% proficient. Eighth graders sitting at 30%. But the National Education Association says the move will, quote, hurt all students by sending class sizes soaring, cutting job training programs, making higher education more expensive. New Fox polls show 92% of Democrats oppose shuttering the department, plus 81% of independents, and more than a third of Republicans.
Yeah, Democrats on Capitol Hill have been outspoken about their opposition to the Trump administration's plan to do away with the department. Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost wants to take the lead role in an investor lawsuit against the Cash App known as Square.
The class action suit accused Block Inc. of misleading investors and causing $12.6 million in losses for Ohio's largest public pension fund, plus billions more for other investors. The suit claims Block created a haven for illegal activity on Square, the company's flagship platform for digital payments.
That is WHIO's Jason Michaels. The filing seeks damages from the company for losses caused by potential wrongdoing. Ohio lawmakers passed a bill that bans DEI initiatives in public colleges.
The Enact Advance Ohio Higher Education Act focuses on prohibiting DEI programs in higher education and keeping school faculty from going on strike. The bill passed in the state Senate last month. It now heads to the governor's desk.
That is News Center 7's Gabrielle Enright. So how is your bracket holding up? Well, the NCAA men's basketball tournament round of 64 got underway yesterday.
John Calipari has made an immediate impact at Arkansas. Calipari has led Arkansas to a March Madness victory as the 10th-seeded Razorbacks defeated 7th-seeded Kansas 79-72 in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Arkansas advances to face Rick Pitino and St. John's on Saturday after the Red Storm blew out Omaha.
That is Fox's Joe Morgan reporting. WHIO News Time 519.
And we're going to get your 5-day weather forecast now from Storm Center 7 meteorologist Brittany Ritz.
Oh, we start off the morning cold. We have frost. Welcome to spring here in the Miami Valley. It's typical, right? Mother Nature doesn't know what she wants. 52 this afternoon, which is normal. We've just been spoiled with temperatures in the 70s. We at least get the sun and a south wind. We'll drop it to 42 overnight. The clouds roll in. We have a chance of a shower north of I-70. Otherwise, we'll dry things out Saturday afternoon. Look at some sun. Not much, but some. 50 is your high. 56 on Sunday, and you had right about that time where we try to warm up, we get another cold front to sweep through, so that brings us the chance for rain and thunderstorms. Well, there may be a stronger storm in the mix later on into the evening, but the bulk of this will be heavy rain, and that lingers into Monday morning. Then we'll hit 50. 48, by the way, on Tuesday. Cold. Now you know the fronts move through, and we still have the chance of showers.
The live Doppler 7 radar is clear right now. It's 29 in Troy, 28 in Greenville, 27 degrees at Dayton Severe Weather Station.
This is a WHIO Red Alert traffic update.
And we check in here with traffic expert Jake Magnotta.
Both lanes of 70 West currently shut down in Clayton at State Route 49 due to a reported rollover crash. We have talked with dispatchers. They didn't tell us how long 70 West is going to be closed, but you'll need to avoid this area. You can always use the exit at Hoke Road in Inglewood or at State Route 48. Come up to Route 40 to get west. And the first ramp it looks like you'll be able to use to get around this and back onto the interstate is at Arlington Road. I'm Jake Magnotta.
Well, the Boston Celtics have officially been sold for a staggering $6.1 billion. The sale marks the largest in North American sports history, surpassing the previous record set by the Commanders in 2023. And one local school district looking to spend big bucks to revamp their schools. We go in depth our impact story in 2 minutes. WHIO News Time is 5:21.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Refresh your ride with brand new tires at unbeatable prices. Plus, buy 4 new tires and get 4 free oil changes and additional 300.
90th anniversary celebration, AM 1290 and 95.7 FM. Dayton's weather, traffic, and Fox News station.
How do you gain a good reputation? By consistently doing the best you can and outperforming the competition. Dayton Door Sales has a reputation for the quality of their garage door installation and repair. Of course, quality depends as much on people as materials. And Dayton Door Sales employs only experienced professional installers and technicians. See for yourself why Dayton Door Sales is the region's leader for garage door service and installation at DaytonDoorSales.com. Integrity, value, experience. That's Dayton Door Sales.
Tune in to WHIO Radio for all your live UD Flyer basketball, sponsored in part by Premier Health. Premier Health is proud to be the official healthcare provider for UD Athletics. Learn more at premierhealth.com/UD.
For This Week in History, I'm Ron Otto. March 17th, 432, St. Patrick, around 16 years old at the time, is captured by Irish pirates from his home in Great Britain and taken as Chuck Berry dies. March 19th, 2003, airstrikes by an American and British-led coalition signal the beginning of the Iraq War.
On my orders, coalition forces have begun striking selected targets of military importance to undermine Saddam Hussein's ability to wage war.
And March 21st, 1975, country music superstars George Jones and Tammy Wynette divorce after 6 years of marriage. For This Week in History, I'm
Miami Valley's morning news on this Friday. I'm Brittany Otto in for Larry Hanskin. We do have a traffic red alert to start the morning. 70 westbound shut down at State Route 49 near Clayton. We've got another update from Jake Magnotta in minutes. 27 degrees right now in Dayton at 5:24.
And that is 24 minutes after 5 o'clock. I'm Jeremy Ratliff. So when could we see rain next?
Next chance of rain. A decent area of low pressure trying to set up. Right now it's off the Pacific coast, moving on to shore. And it brings us the opportunity for heavy rain. And as you know, the last 2 systems have already brought us an inch plus. So our grounds are saturated. We don't need any more rain. In fact, we'd love to have the sun and 80 degrees. I'm sure many of us are nodding our heads. Yes, not no. And so...
Yeah, that is Storm Center 7's meteorologist, Bradley Ritz. Here is a WHIO impact story, which means we take you in depth on a major story every hour. One of our school districts met to talk about making some very big changes yesterday. The Kettering School District School Board asked for feedback about plans for its school buildings, and some people are worried about the cost.
This proposal is more than $400 million. The meeting happened here at Fairmont High School, and this place would be seeing some renovations, but the renovation crew would be tearing down others.
Actually pleasantly surprised that the plan, I feel, has been well thought out.
Leanne Braisland had an idea of what this meeting was about before going in.
I knew it had something to do with consolidating the schools and possibly taking away some of our elementary schools.
For the last 2 years, Kettering City School District partnered with Ohio Facilities Construction Commission.
Yeah, News Center 7's Malik Patterson reports that leaders looked at the school buildings in the district and determined 11 of the 12 no longer were up to standard.
Braisland's 5 kids attended Kettering schools and agrees they needed a facelift.
I didn't necessarily know the infrastructure and how bad they are per se.
Leaders laid out the proposal to the public. It's a 10-year plan broken into 2 phases, consolidating the middle schools and renovating the high schools, phase 1. Phase 2 would be to renovate the elementary schools and preschool. The Ohio Facilities Construction Commission said it would enter a bond agreement to help Kettering build and renovate new facilities. The estimated cost to build the new buildings is over $400 million. The state would pay some, but the community would have to cover the rest. Ask Kettering City Schools Treasurer Justin Blevins how much that would cost taxpayers.
We don't have numbers on a per household basis.
Now, the school district will review the feedback from yesterday's meeting, and they plan on having their second community forum later this fall. WHIO News Time, 526.
Well, it is Friday, and if you got big weekend plans, we've got you covered with weather and traffic updates all day long, including from 3 until 5 during today's Sean Hannity Show. Here's your Hannity Morning Minute.
Your morning espresso starts right here. It's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Democrats screaming bloody murder. Save our kids. Save our kids from what? We're saving our kids by saving this system from institutional failure. That's why I'm asking people, think out of the box. Approach something differently. When you're failing at this level, you have got to make adjustments. You have got to do a course correction. This has been needed now almost since the beginning. Department of Education founded in 1979. Reagan has, during his term, a landmark study, A Nation at Risk. What has happened to the educational system in America, were it done by an outside entity or force, would be tantamount to an act of war. Wow, that's how bad this is.
The Sean Hannity Show, from coast to coast, later today.
At the original 5-Star Plumbing Company, we're family owned and operated, which means we understand plumbing and family dynamics.
You clogged the toilet! I thought it was the goldfish.
Whether it's a fishy situation or a leaky pipe, we're here to help. Since 1997, our mission has been to offer the community a better, more affordable plumbing option. When family plumbing emergencies strike, the original 5-Star Plumbing Company has the experience to handle it. Call us today at 937-902-6195.
The WHIO Weekend Preview with what's happening around the Miami Valley. Here's Chris Hartley.
What's up, Miami Valley? Here's what's happening. The Professional Bull Riders is going to be in town this weekend over at the Nutter Center. It's the PBR Velocity Tour. Friday's show is going to begin at 8 p.m. Saturday's show starts at 7. The Shamrock Tenors is going to be in town this weekend over at the Dayton Schuster Center. Ireland's newest sensation will perform on Saturday. That show's going to start at 7:30. Tickets available at DaytonLive.org. The 7th annual Sweet Spring Marketplace is going on. That's over at the Montgomery County Fairgrounds this weekend. This is spring-related arts and crafts fair, Saturday 10 to 5 and Sunday 11 to 4. And movies topping the box office this weekend include Novocaine, Mickey 17, and Black Bag. What a wonderful weekend to check out a movie. With your WHIO Weekend Preview, I'm Chris Hartley.
WHIO has Dayton's #1 morning news program, Miami Valley's Morning News, packed with local news, storm center weather, and triple team traffic. WHIO. The 50,000-watt giant of Miami Valley radio. From Lima to Kentucky, Columbus to Indianapolis, the station that cares about every town in between. We love this region as much as you do. Covering weather, traffic, and news is still our #1 priority. Nothing is more important as keeping radio local, in touch with the community, and relevant to you and your family. Welcome to the legendary 1290 and 95.7 WHIO. Depend on it. WHIO, Dayton Springfield. Celebrating our 90th year as the Miami Valley's leading news station. Weather, traffic, and breaking news starts now.
Good morning. It is 5:30 on Friday, March 21st. I'm Brittany Otto here on Miami Valley's Morning News with the 3 big things that you need to know today. A traffic red alert this morning. 70 West shut down at State Route 49 near Clayton. It'll be mostly sunny early today. A few rain showers possible overnight. We'll see highs in the low to mid-50s. And it is our top story.
Pell Grants, Title I funding, resources for children with disabilities and special needs will be preserved, fully preserved.
President Trump signing an executive order to dismantle the Department of Education.
That's right, Brittany. And now President Trump's Secretary of Education opens up about his executive order to break down the department. Fox's Kristen Goodwin explains.
Secretary of Education Linda McMahon says President Trump would like her to move as swiftly as possible to close the Department of Education.
The sooner that we can close the department, the more efficiently we can have the funds distributed to the states, and perhaps they will even have more funding when there isn't the overhead and bureaucracy from the Department of Education.
Telling Fox's Brett Baer on Special Report she hopes to work with Congress.
I want Congress to be a partner in this, and I believe they will be.
Now, congressional approval is needed to close the department.
GOP Senator Bill Cassidy vowing to introduce legislation to do so. House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries slamming the move, saying it will harm millions of children and hardworking teachers.
Of course, you can stay tuned for updates on this developing story here on the home of breaking news, 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
Oh, our next chance for storms moving into the Miami Valley. I'm Storm Center 7 meteorologist Britley Ritz, tracking them for you, telling you when they get here and how much rain you can expect.
A big issue in Clayton this morning as 70 West is closed at State Route 49 due to a crash around 4:15 this morning. I'm Jake Magnotta with Dayton's most frequent traffic.
This is Miami Valley's morning news on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO. I'm Brittany Otto.
And I'm Jeremy Ratliff. We now know the extinguishing system at a Clark County plant kept a fire from spreading yesterday.
It happened at Yamada North America in South Charleston. Firefighters said the fire started in the furnace room of the plant. They were very concerned because the flames were burning near aluminum.
The molten aluminum reacts very violently with water and certain kinds of foams. And so we would have had a lot of issue if it had been in that room.
That report is from News Center 7's Gabrielle Enright. In Preble County, a teacher accused of having a relationship with a student who's due back in court this morning.
31-year-old Garrett Stringer Smith is facing 10 counts of sexual battery. A Twin Valley Community School student told a school resource officer that she had been in a relationship with Stringer Smith since last September.
Now, Stringer Smith is out of jail after posting bond last month. Despite the bird flu, one Dark County Chicken Festival is looking to break a record this summer.
Poultry Days in Versailles is claiming to be the largest chicken barbecue in the world and is even getting formal certification from a licensed public accounting firm. Festival board members say over 39,000 dinners were served last year and well over 1 million since 1952.
That is WHIO's Ron Otto reporting. 74th Annual Poultry Days Festival will be June 13th through the 15th. A federal judge has temporarily blocked DOJ from Social Security Administration systems that hold personally identifiable data on millions of Americans.
A decision from a U.S. district judge also requires the team to delete any identifiable data they may have. It comes after labor unions and retirees asked for an emergency order limiting DOJ access to the agency and its vast troves of personal data. The administration has said DOJ's work at the agency is aimed at reducing waste and fraud in the federal government.
That is WHIO's Will Taylor reporting. We get more UD basketball tomorrow after a strong offensive performance by the basketball Flyers kicked off the team's participation in the NIT Wednesday night.
Javon Bennett buried 8 3-pointers and tied for the second most trays in a single game at Dayton. The final score over Florida Atlantic was 86-79 in Boca Raton. Bennett led all scorers with 30 points. Nate Santos had 15 and Enoch Cheeks added 12 points.
And there's WHIO's Jason Michaels. Dayton, of course, is going to play at Chattanooga, as we've been telling you, in the second round on Saturday at 11:30 a.m. tomorrow. Take a deep breath, refocus, because day 2 of the NCAA tournament is upon us.
The UConn Huskies kick off their back-to-back championship defense against Oklahoma, but they do so as an 8 seed after losing 10 games leading up to the tournament. While 11 seed North Carolina looks to continue proving the doubters who said they don't belong in the tournament wrong when they take on 6 seed Ole Miss in the South region.
That is Fox's Joe Morgan reporting. WHIO News Time 5:35.
This is a WHIO Red Alert traffic update.
And we get the latest from traffic expert Jake Magnotta.
Really big problem for us this morning on 70 West in Clayton near State Route 49. A reported rollover crash around 4:15 has 70 West currently shut down. They are rerouting traffic onto State Route 49 right now, but I would not use this exit. I would use the exit at Hoke Road or even State Route 48 in the Englewood area. I would just use Route 40 to get around all of this mess and come over to Arlington Road in Brookville to re-enter 70 West. I'm Jake Magnotta.
Well, Yahoo Finance says DoorDash is teaming with Klarna to allow customers to pay for food orders with 4 interest-free payments. Klarna will be integrated into the app, offering more payment flexibility. Customers can also make installment payments on groceries, electronics, and beauty products. And a shakeup in the IRS. We've got the details in 2 minutes. WHIO News Time is 5:36.
This is Dayton's #1 news talk station. The superstars of conservative talk. Sean Hannity, Brian Kilmeade, Eric Erickson. Your weekday triple play. 1290 and 95.7 WHIO. Dependable.
At KeyBank, we know a small moment like,
what's it like to have a yard?
Can lead to an even bigger question like,
am I ready to buy a home?
And that's the type of moment where we'll meet you, prepared to talk about everything you need to know when applying for a mortgage, so you can try to turn those backyard dreams into reality. Paul?
Yes?
Question. Are you a hammock person?
You know, I think I might be.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. NMLS 399797, Equal Housing Lender.
Belmont Coin and Jewelry is looking to buy large estates and inheritances, any gold and silver coin collections, and gold and diamond jewelry and watches. Please see Belmont Coin and Jewelry today at 2749 Wilmington Pike in Kettering.
Skyline is now serving up Mike's Hot Honey Conies and Ways. For a limited time, you can order your Skyline favorites with a drizzle of Mike's Hot Honey Extra Hot. It's pure honey blended with chili peppers for the perfect combination of sweet and heat. Proof that some things are just better together. Mike's Hot Honey Conies and Ways are only at participating Skyline restaurants while supplies last. So come to Skyline today and get your Mike's Hot Honey Conies and Ways.
North Dayton, North Dayton, North Dayton Garden Center.
Hi, Pete Kasuja here to remind you that our shade tree and fruit tree sale is on all this month with thousands of trees, shrubs, evergreens, Colorado spruce and rose bushes, perennials and ground cover plants, all ready to plant now to give them an early start. Our famous green mat grass seed is custom blended for our Ohio soil to give you a full and sturdy lawn. Sow today and mow in May. Our grapevines and blueberries and blackberry vines are beautiful, and in our 16 greenhouses, we're getting ready with thousands of flats of annuals and vegetable plants for later this spring. And remember, we're open 7 days. We're about a mile east of the Stanley Avenue exit on I-75.
The area's only all news and talk radio station. That means we're talking about what you're talking about. Miami Valley's morning news continues on WHIO.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us this Friday on Miami Valley's Morning News. A heads up, we have a traffic red alert this morning. Westbound 70 at State Route 49 near Clayton. The interstate is shut down. We'll have an update from Jake Magnotta in just a couple of minutes. 27 degrees in Dayton at 5:39.
And that is 21 minutes here ahead of 6 o'clock. I'm Jeremy Ratliff. Well, we have more rain on tap in the 5-day forecast.
Here's what you need to pay attention to. Low-lying areas. If you're on the interstate, slow down. Hydroplaning will become an issue, especially on Sunday with that rain coming down at such a heavy rate. If you are traveling out and about and come across a road covered in water, turn around. Don't drown. Trust me, it's a silly saying, but it will save your life.
That is Storm Center 7 meteorologist Brittany Britz. Constantly updating stories with new details. It's a huge vote of support for Ukraine from the European Union, but it wasn't quite unanimous. Fox's Jonathan Savage takes us in depth on this story.
The question was whether to continue the European Union's unwavering support for Ukraine's independence, sovereignty and territorial integrity. Out of the 27 leaders present, 26 voted yes. The outlier was Hungary's Viktor Orban, an ally of Vladimir Putin. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky asked the EU to put its money where its mouth is.
We need funds for artillery shells and would really appreciate Europe's support with at least 5 billion euros.
Now, President Zelensky urged allies not to ease pressure on Russia over the war.
This is WHIO Continuing News.
I take you next to the nation's northeast. Maine universities agree to keep transgender athletes out of women's sports after the Trump administration pauses funding.
The University of Maine system agrees to comply with the president's executive order barring transgender athletes from women's sports. The network of 8 public universities had been hit with a temporary pause in funding over its refusal to comply.
That report is from Fox's Gary Baumgarten. WHIO News Time is 5:41.
And we get your 5-day weather forecast now with Storm Center 7 meteorologist Britley Ritz.
52 today, which is normal. A little sunshine goes a long way with the south wind. We'll drop to 42 overnight, bring in the chance of showers mainly north of I-70, otherwise drying things out with a glimpse of sun Saturday afternoon and a high of 50. 56 on Sunday. The rain moves in late morning, getting heavier throughout the latter part of the afternoon and evening, and a few rumbles of thunder expected as we hit 56. There's enough energy there for a few thunderstorms. 41 overnight and into Monday, 50. Lingering showers on the front half of the day, otherwise just gloomy with the cloud cover. And stray showers possible again on Tuesday with a high of 48.
The live Doppler 7 radar is clear this morning. It's 28 in Eaton, 27 in Piqua, 27 degrees at Dayton Severe Weather Station.
This is a WHIO Red Alert traffic update.
And here's traffic expert Jake Magnotta.
Confirmed with dispatchers that this crash is involving a semi. It still has 70 West closed at State Route 49 in Clayton. A lot more traffic starting to head this way, so starting to see more of a delay. I'm still recommending you use that exit at State Route 48 in Englewood. Use Route 40 to get west. The first entrance ramp that'll get you onto 70 West past this crash is at Arlington Road. I'm Jake Magnotta.
Conor McGregor tells the New York Post that he'll be running for president of Ireland. He's presenting himself as a candidate resistant to the current leadership. Conor wants Ireland to be a place where citizens can have a say in shaping their own destiny. And it's known for being one of the busiest airports in the world, and right now, it's closed. That story in 3 minutes. WHI News Time is 5:42.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Expert brake repair you can trust. Make sure you can stop when you need to the most. Get a little peace of mind by making an appointment today with your trusted brake repair experts at GrismerTire.com.
This is the Miami Valley's home for Fox News. WHIO. This is a Consumer Warrior Clark Howard Minute.
There have been such ugly scams that have been reported on heavily lately about people getting ripped off, conned on meme coins. And meme coins are different than crypto. They almost start out, in many cases, almost like a joke. It's been very easy for crooked promoters to promote them, run the value up, and then cash out before they collapse. And if you're interested in crypto, a little knowledge is really dangerous. The more you know, the better off you're going to be. And so be very cautious with putting any money in crypto till you really understand it. Not put in any money that you have to eat or pay bills or anything like that. And know the latest meme coin is going to burn you just like the last meme coins did.
Clark is WHIO's Consumer Warrior, and you can hear him during Miami Valley's Morning News on WHIO. This is the legendary WHIO.
This is Lou M. Now let's check on morning traffic.
Dayton's only 24-hour news station. Using the power of News Center 7, we have dozens of reporters all over the Miami Valley.
Breaking news in Tip City. This is a live
with one mission, to bring you breaking news when it happens.
News Center 7's Kayla McDermott is live along
Major stories that impact your family.
New Oregon District mass shooting information.
We're the home of Dayton's only all-news morning show, Miami Valley's Morning News.
This is Larry Hansgen.
Then, throughout the day, listen for updated local news every 15 minutes.
Dayton and Springfield's 24-hour news, weather, and traffic station.
When breaking news happens, we stop what we're doing and go wall to wall. For us, there's nothing more important than live, local news on the radio. It's a tradition since 1935.
WHIO.
This is 1290 and 95.7 WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk.
Trading shouldn't have barriers. When Robinhood started, it was built to make trading more accessible. Now, Robinhood offers more sophisticated trading tools. Experience the future of trading on Robinhood Legend, the all-new desktop platform that harnesses intuitive design to deliver a seamless experience for traders. Free to use with a Robinhood account. The future of trading is fast, powerful, and precise. Experience it now on Robinhood Legend. Sign up today. Investing is risky. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, is a registered broker-dealer. Other fees may apply.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with the sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Dayton's only all-local news radio station. The power of WHIO Radio and News Center 7 means you'll know first. This is Miami Valley's Morning News on WHIO.
Good morning. It's 5:46. I'm Brittany Otto here on Miami Valley's Morning News with the three big things that you need to know. We have a traffic red alert this morning. 70 westbound shut down at State Route 49 near Clayton due to a semi-crash. A $500,000 winning Lucky for Life lottery ticket sold at a speedway in Kettering for last night's drawing, so you might want to check your numbers. And President Trump signed an executive order drastically shrinking the Department of Education.
Yeah, Brady Fox's Jared Halpert has more on what we need to know about this from the White House.
For decades, President Trump says the federal Department of Education has done us no good.
We're going to be returning education very simply back to the states where it belongs, and this is a very popular thing to do, but much more importantly, it's a common sense thing to do.
An executive order requires the education secretary to take maximum steps allowed by law to facilitate closing the department. The president says core functions like Pell Grants, Title I funding, and federal student loans will be preserved. Completely eliminating the cabinet-level agency likely will require Congress. Republicans are already introducing legislation to do that.
Yeah, the department can only be abolished by Congress. Democrats have promised to challenge the measure. And the company that is bringing nearly 100 jobs to the Dayton Airport area is hosting a hiring event today.
United Alloy plans to create at least 60 new jobs and could employ up to 100. The event runs from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Union Air Park Boulevard in Union, and applicants can expect interviews and weld testing.
That is WHIO's Ron Otto reporting. It will be the company's fourth production facility and their first in Ohio. A man accused of a deadly hit and run will be back in court next month.
A grand jury indicted 19-year-old Julio Manuel Francisco. Police said he ran a red light and hit April Cartwright, then drove off. This was back in September in Dayton on Stanley Avenue. Police said the teen admitted hitting her. Investigators think alcohol and speed played a role. Police say Manuel Francisco did not have a valid license.
That is News Center 7's Gabrielle Enright. One of the busiest airports in the world is shut down.
Heathrow Airport in London will be closed today after a fire caused a power outage. The airport saying in a statement that happened after an electrical substation that supplies the airport caught on fire. Residents in about 150 homes nearby were also evacuated. Passengers have been told to avoid the airport and to contact their individual airline for further details on new flight times.
That is Fox's Chris DeMeo. The London Fire Brigade says the electrical substation blaze is now under control. So did you throw your bracket in the trash yet? Well, hopefully not. Yesterday, the NCAA men's basketball tournament round of 64 got underway.
The Jayhawks is the program's first round one loss since 2006. And McNeese has earned its first tournament win. The 12th-seeded Cowboys held 5th-seeded Clemson to just 13 points in the first half, as McNeese defeated the Tigers 69-67.
That is Fox's Joe Morgan. WHIO News Time, 5:49.
And we get your 5-day weather forecast now with Storm Center 7 meteorologist Britley Ritz.
Oh, we start off the morning cold. We have frost. Welcome to spring here in the Miami Valley. It's typical, right? Mother Nature doesn't know what she wants. 52 this afternoon, which is normal. We've just been spoiled with temperatures in the 70s. We at least get the sun and a south wind. We'll drop it to 42 overnight. The clouds roll in. We have a chance of a shower north of I-70. Otherwise, we'll dry things out Saturday afternoon. Look at some sun. Not much, but some. 50 is your high. 56 on Sunday, and right about that time where we try to warm up, we get another cold front to sweep through, so that brings us the chance for rain and thunderstorms. Well, there may be a stronger storm in the mix later on into the evening, but the bulk of this will be heavy rain, and that lingers into Monday morning. Then we'll hit 50. 48, by the way, on Tuesday. Cold. Now you know the fronts move through, and we still have the chance of showers.
The live Doppler 7 radar is clear. 27 in Beaver Creek. It's 27 in Huber Heights. 27 degrees at Dayton Severe Weather Station.
This is a WHIO Red Alert traffic update.
And we get the latest here from traffic expert Jake Magnotta.
70 West still not open for us this morning. It has been shut down at State Route 49 in Clayton for about an hour and a half because of a crash involving a semi. This backup now really starting to grow. More traffic heading this way for the morning drive. You can use that exit at Hoke Road in Englewood or at State Route 48. Both of these will get you up to Route 40. You can take this west instead over to Arlington Road. Arlington Road gets you onto 70 West again. I'm Jake Magnotta.
Bob Evans offering a chance to win a tax day comfort kit with a year's supply of products, a fluffy robe, mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, and a heated coffee mug. The promotion is designed to provide relaxation during the hectic tax season. Bob Evans has more details about the giveaway on their socials. And the Cincinnati Reds playing ball in Dayton next week. We've got the details coming up for you in 2 minutes. WHIO News Time 5:51.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Refresh your ride with brand new tires at unbeatable prices. Plus, buy 4 new tires and get 4 free oil changes, an additional $300 value. Make an appointment today at grismertire.com.
WHIO's Brian Kilmeade here. I am coming to Dayton at the Victoria Theater Saturday, June 21st. Buy your tickets now at DaytonLive.org. Part of the WHIO 90th anniversary celebration. AM 1290 and 95.7 FM. Dayton's weather, traffic, and Fox News station.
This is a Consumer Warrior Clark Howard Minute.
Gosh, it feels like it's been so many years I've talked about skimming scams. That's where main target, you go to pay at a pump at a gas station, and a criminal has put a little device there that captures the number on your credit or debit card. Well, new reports from law enforcement show that this scam is actually growing again, and you need to be aware that if you pay at the pump, do not do it with a debit card unless you can tap to pay. In fact, the best way to pay at the pump or at the pumps that now offer the ability for you to pay with Apple Pay or Google Wallet. Those are the safest ways for you to pay pretty much anywhere anyway, because every time you do a transaction, even if a criminal's hacking, it sends a unique one-time code that's useless to them.
Clark is WHIO's Consumer Warrior, and you can hear him during Miami Valley's Morning News on WHIO. The 50,000-watt giant of Miami Valley Radio. From Lima to Kentucky, Columbus to Indianapolis. The station that cares about every town in between. We love this region as much as you do. Covering weather, traffic, and news is still our #1 priority. Nothing is more important as keeping radio local, in touch with the community, and relevant to you and your family. Welcome to the legendary 1290 and 95.7 WHIO. Depend on it.
Missions to Mars, driverless cars, AI chatbots. Feels like we're already living in the future. Robinhood is built for the future of trading. Robinhood's intuitive design makes trading seamless, so you can spot opportunities and take control of your trades. You can now even trade stocks and crypto all in one place. Sign up for a Robinhood account today. Investing is risky. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, is a registered broker-dealer. Trading during extended hours involves additional risks. Cryptocurrency services are offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services.
Good morning, Dayton. You're waking up with the information you need to start the day. Miami Valley's Morning News continues on WHIO.
Good morning. Thanks for listening to Miami Valley's Morning News. I'm Brittany Otto. We do have a traffic red alert this morning. 70 westbound shut down. It's State Route 49 near Clayton due to a crash involving a semi. More details from Jake Magnotta in minutes. It's 27 degrees now in Dayton at 5:54.
And that is 6 minutes here ahead of 6 o'clock. I'm Jeremy Ratliff. SWAT surrounded a home in Dayton yesterday in connection to a shooting that killed a 17-year-old. The Dayton Police Department confirmed the large police presence was in connection to that deadly shooting on February 27th on Oxford Avenue.
After the shooting, 2 17-year-olds drove away in their car and crashed at the intersection of Oxford and Broadway. Police say one teen survived their injuries, but the other later died. They made an arrest on March 19th, and then yesterday they came to the house on Kumler Avenue to serve a search warrant looking for others who may have been involved. Police say due to the high risk of people being armed inside the home, SWAT was called. At least 2 people were taken into custody.
There's WHIO's Will Taylor. If you're planning on seeing the Reds at Day Air Ballpark next week, you can come early and see batting practice.
On Tuesday, the gates will open at 4 p.m. Then the Reds' batting practice will run from 4:15 to 5:15. First pitch is set for 6:10. The Reds will play against a team made up of the organization's minor league prospects. The game has been sold out.
That is WHIO's Benjamin Fritkiss. WHIO News Time 5:55.
Good morning. I'm Miami Valley's Morning News. Happy Friday, everybody. Joined by Jeremy Ratliff.
Good morning.
And Will Taylor.
Good morning.
And who else had their bracket just blown up yesterday?
You know, it's bad. I haven't even checked mine.
You haven't.
And I'm
looked
already forgetting who I selected. So maybe.
I only had a couple wrong ones.
Okay.
So it's not, I mean, it's blown up, I guess, but.
So, okay, I bring this up because, Will, you did a portion or attempted to do a portion of your bracket using AI.
Yes, I did, as an experiment.
Yeah. Well, USA Today says some basketball fans had AI and ChatGPT fill out their March Madness brackets. Microsoft's AI Copilot apparently liked Kansas, Alabama, Houston, and Michigan State for the Final Four. So obviously that did not work well because Kansas is lost already.
Yeah.
Copilot had Kansas beating Alabama in the national championship game by a score of 80-76. So I think that this tells us that maybe using AI for these types of things is not the best option.
Yeah.
You could say that.
But then it'll probably be perfect next year.
Right.
You just never know with this tournament.
It's got to iron out all the kinks.
Yeah.
But maybe it was thinking, because when I initially did it, it gave me I think it gave me last year's.
Oh.
And so then I had to say, no, the new one's out. Or it was a projected, what it would projected what the bracket would look like. And I was like, no, it's out. And then it fixed it. But maybe they didn't argue with it like I did.
Because it makes it so much easier to sit and argue with AI instead of just filling out the bracket on your own, right?
Experiment.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
For the love of the game.
Did you guys watch any of the games yesterday?
I didn't.
Yes, I did. And I can't even remember what game it was. Oh, no, it was the McNeese.
The McNeese game, yeah.
It was. Just a little bit.
That was kind of fun to watch. But.
Yeah, even though I didn't have them winning, it's always fun to root for.
It is. It's fun to root for the underdogs. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully your bracket fared better than mine because I might as well just quit now. All right. Moving on. We've got our top story coming up this morning. More details about President Trump signing an executive order that drastically shrinks the Department of Education. We've got details in 2 minutes. WHI News Time 5:58.
This is the legendary WHIO.
This is Lou M. Now let's check on morning traffic.
Dayton's only 24-hour news station. Using the power of News Center 7, we have dozens of reporters all over the Miami Valley.
Breaking news in Tip City. This is a live
with one mission, to bring you breaking news when it happens.
News Center 7's Kayla McDermott is live along
Major stories that impact your family.
New Oregon District mass shooting information.
We're the home of Dayton's only all-news morning show, Miami Valley's Morning News.
This is Larry Hansgen.
Then, throughout the day, listen for updated local news every 15 minutes.
Dayton and Springfield's 24-hour news, weather, and traffic station.
When breaking news happens, we stop what we're doing and go wall to wall. For us, there's nothing more important than live, local news on the radio. It's a tradition since 1935.
WHIO.
This is 1290 and 95.7 WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk.
For This Week in History, I'm Ron Otto. March 17th, 432, St. Patrick, around 16 years old at the time, is captured by Irish pirates from his home in Great Britain and taken Chuck Berry dies. March 19th, 2003, airstrikes by an American and British-led coalition signal the beginning of the Iraq War.
On my orders, coalition forces have begun striking selected targets of military importance to undermine Saddam Hussein's ability to wage war.
And March 21st, 1975, country music superstars George Jones and Tammy Wynette divorce after 6 years of marriage. For This Week in History, I'm Ron Otto.
WHIO, Dayton, Springfield. Celebrating our 90th year as the Miami Valley's leading news station. Weather, traffic, and breaking news starts now.
Good morning. It's 6 o'clock on Friday, March 21st. I'm Brittany Otto here on Miami Valley's Morning News with the three big things that you need to know. Traffic red alert underway this morning. 70 westbound shut down at State Route 49 near Clayton. It'll be mostly sunny early today. We'll see a few rain showers possible overnight, highs in the low to mid 50s. And it is our top story this morning.
People have wanted to do this for many, many years, for many, many decades. And I don't know, no president ever got around to doing it, but I'm getting around to doing it. So thank you very much.
President Trump moving to eliminate the Federal Department of Education.
That's right, Brittany. And Fox's Jared Halpern has more on this story for us from the White House.
President Trump says his pick to lead the Department of Education, Linda McMahon, is an extraordinary person.
And hopefully she will be our last Secretary of Education.
Making good on a campaign pledge, the president signed an executive order directing the secretary to take maximum steps allowed by law to facilitate closing the Department of Education.
We're going to shut it down and shut it down as quickly as possible. It's doing us no good.
Education, President Trump says, will return to the states, though the federal government will preserve core functions like administering student loans, Pell Grants, and funding low-income and special needs programs.
And the House Democratic leader is slamming the move, saying it will harm millions of children and hardworking teachers. Of course, you can stay tuned for updates and analysis on this developing story in the days ahead here on the home of breaking news, 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
Are we ever going to warm up? We are in spring, you know. I'm Storm Center 7 meteorologist Britley Ritz. We'll talk about if and when we have that opportunity in the next 7 days.
No relief yet as 70 West is still shut down at State Route 49 in Clayton due to a semi-crash around 4:15 this morning. I'm Jake Magnato with Dayton's most frequent traffic.
I'm Brittany Otto. This is Miami Valley's Morning News on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO, sponsored by Joseph Airport Toyota Hyundai.
And I'm Jeremy Radleff. Well, a tornado touched down at an area airport in Wednesday night's windstorm.
The National Weather Service confirms the twister landed at Cincinnati Northern Kentucky Airport, but no one was hurt. The storm survey team is still working to find out how strong the tornado was and what path it took.
That is WHIO's Ron Otto reporting. An airport spokesperson says the storm did damage to a building that is under construction on airport property. The State Department of Health has announced Ohio's first measles case of the year.
It's in Ashtabula County in the northeast part of the state. According to the department, the patient is unvaccinated and was exposed to someone who traveled out of the country. Last year reported on about a half dozen cases of measles here in the Miami Valley.
That is News Center 7's Gabrielle Enright. A fire engulfs a car in Trotwood early yesterday.
Crews were sent to a location on Howey Street on reports of a car fire just past 2. Upon arrival, the address was updated to somewhere along Norfolk Avenue. No word yet on whether anyone was in the vehicle when the fire occurred.
That is WHIO's Jason Michaels. There's also no word on any possible injuries or what might have caused the fire. Check your tickets. A winning lottery ticket was sold right here in the Miami Valley.
One person in the Miami Valley won $500,000 with all 5 winning numbers in last night's Lucky for Life lottery drawing. The winning ticket was sold at a Speedway in Kettering, according to the Ohio Lottery. The winning numbers were 7, 14, 25, 35, and 40. The lucky ball was 14.
That is WHIO's Benjamin Fritkiss. No one won the $7.3 million jackpot. Sales of previously occupied U.S. homes rose in February as easing mortgage rates and more properties on the market encouraged home shoppers.
Existing home sales rose 4.2% last month from January to a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 4.26 million units, according to the National Association of Realtors. Sales fell 1.2% compared with February of last year.
That is WHIO's Will Taylor. And pull that bracket out of the trash. Get ready for day 2 of the NCAA tournament.
The first round continues today, and the biggest star in the sport will play. After suffering a sprained ankle in the ACC tournament, freshman sensation Cooper Flagg will be active for number 1 seeded Duke against Mount St. Mary's. Flagg said he was back at practice on Wednesday and is ready to go against the Mountaineers.
I feel really good. I'm really confident about going 100% tomorrow.
That report is from Fox's Joe Morgan. WHIO News Time, 6:05.
This is a WHIO Red Alert traffic update.
And we check in now with traffic expert Jake Magnotta.
Not a lot has changed for some time on 70 West at State Route 49 in Clayton. We still have 70 West shut down because of this crash involving a semi. Happened almost 2 hours ago. The only thing I've seen change is that backup, which is really starting to grow. So to avoid all of this, you'll need to use the exit at either Hoke Road or State Route 48 in Englewood. And Route 40 is parallel to 70 West, so this will get you around the delay. I'm Jake Magnotta.
Well, Dolph Lundgren has launched his own 90-proof potato vodka called Hard Cut Vodka. It's distilled in Idaho, made with Rocky Mountain water. The award-winning vodka has hints of green apple and butterscotch, offering a smooth finish. And the Secretary of Defense set to discuss innovation with Elon Musk. That story coming up in 2 minutes. WHIO News Time 6:06.
WHIO has Dayton's #1 morning news program, Miami Valley's Morning News, packed with local news, storm center weather, and triple team traffic. 1290 and 95.7 WHIO. Depend on it.
Hello, I am Jeff Bardonero, President for KeyBank in Dayton. We all believe in providing a helping hand in our communities, but while helping hands are wonderful, a helping bank can be even better. We are a bank that's committed to solving people's financial needs, but it just doesn't stop there. We advocate, we support, we listen, and we volunteer. That's a bank, regardless of circumstance, that is always ready to meet you in the moment. KeyBank, a relationship you can bank on.
Marion's Piazza, home of Dayton's favorite pizza. Proud sponsors of Flyer basketball on WHIO Radio. Marion's has been serving award-winning Dayton-style thin-crust pizzas, giant sandwiches, and other Italian specialties in a relaxing old Italian courtyard atmosphere for more than 50 years. Come enjoy a night out at Marion's, a great gathering place for sports teams, reunions, graduation parties, birthdays, and celebrations of all sorts. With 9 area locations, you'll find a Marion's near you. Marion's and the Flyers, 2 winning Dayton traditions.
Elevate your kitchen or bathroom with breathtaking countertops from Stone Center of Dayton. Explore our large indoor inventory of granite and quartz, and now featuring a large selection of quartzites. We're locally owned and operated and offer in-house design help. Visit us at stonecenterofdayton.com.
Restore more with Ram Restoration, your trusted full-service solution for your home or business. Got water damage, fire damage, mold issues? Don't worry. We've got you covered with our 24/7 emergency response. Count on us to restore your property to tip-top shape. Visit RamRestorationUSA.com. Need a new roof or siding? Looking to add an addition? We also offer remodeling, roofing, construction, and plumbing services. Ram Restoration. Everything under one roof. Visit us today at RamRestorationUSA.com.
The back seat. Check the back seat.
Gets in your head, right? Good, because every year dozens of children are forgotten in the back seat. Cars get hot fast and can be deadly, so get it in your head. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Open the door to Dayton Door Sales. Family owned and locally loved, Dayton Door Sales is dedicated to giving your home the quality garage doors it deserves. Centered around a superior customer experience, our customers can rest assured that every member of the Dayton Door Sales family is committed to providing high-quality garage door installation and repair services at great prices. To learn more, visit DaytonDoorSales.com. Dayton Door Sales. Integrity, value, experience.
News. I'm Brittany Gatto. Just a heads up, we have a traffic red alert this morning. 70 westbound shut down at State Route 49 near Clayton due to an accident with a semi-truck. We've got an update from Jake Magnotta coming up in just a couple of minutes. 28 degrees in Dayton at 6:09.
And that is 9 minutes after 6 o'clock. I'm Jeremy Ratliff. Well, rain is in the forecast. Like it or not.
Let's talk about how much rain we can get. It begins late Saturday and into Sunday, a stray shower. Late Sunday morning, we now bring in our next decent chance of rain. It gets heavier through the day and into the evening. A rumble of thunder is possible. Nothing severe at the moment is expected, but a stronger thunderstorm cannot be ruled out. Wind would be the greatest concern, some small hail.
Otherwise, Storm Center 7 meteorologist Brittany Ritz says it's the flooding threat.
We've been saturated from the last two systems. Now we're dragging in through Monday The potential of picking up another 2 inches of rain, if not more, especially I-70 south. Then it lingers Tuesday and Wednesday, finally drying out on Thursday.
And of course, stay with us for updated forecast in the coming days. Troopers have not said yet what caused a semi to go sideways on I-70 yesterday afternoon.
This is in Butler Township. This is near Dayton International Airport Access Road. Troopers had to close the ramp here, but gave no reports of any injuries.
Now, it's News Center 7's Gabrielle Enright.
This is WHIO Continuing News.
And Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says he's going to be meeting with Elon Musk at the Pentagon today to discuss innovation, efficiencies, and smarter production.
Musk and Doge have played an integral role in the administration's push to dramatically reduce the size of the government. Musk has faced blowback from some lawmakers and voters for his approach to laying off workers and slashing programs, although Trump's supporters have hailed it.
That is WHIO's Will Taylor. Hegseth also scheduled to deliver remarks with President Trump at the White House this morning. WHIO News Time, 6:11.
And we're going to get your 5-day weather forecast now.